What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what's going on. And there is a lot going on today, and especially around the world. And that's what I love about Bitcoin. It's not just a one country, one person entity. It is a global thing. So I always love seeing like adoption news going on, whether it's good or bad, because then you can really tell if it's like, oh, this country's not going to do too good. Because one of these countries out there, I think it's Spain, one of their parties is trying to push a hefty crypto tax out there. Well, we got some other countries even lowering it. So I always love full-blown adoption news. And then we have Texas buying 10 million or up to that. I think they purchased 5 million in Bitcoin ETFs, but we'll cover all that stuff. But hey, it's the day before Thanksgiving. I am about to travel later today. Got my bag and luggage all set up, ready to go. So I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving tomorrow, spending with your friends, family, loved ones, or just taking the time to yourself. Hope you all have an awesome day. But yeah, speaking of Thanksgiving, looks like the traditional presidential turkey pardon happened yesterday. We had Trump pardoning Turkey Gobble, who appears to thank the president. Let's watch this really fast. Are you ready?
Gobble, I just want to tell you this very important. You are hereby unconditionally pardoned.
That turkey sounded happy that he was being pardoned. So, well, lucky for you, Gobble, you are not going to be getting eaten this year. But let's go over the news. What's happening? Well, Bitcoin right now is at 87,000, so we are still just sideways action. Yesterday was kind of like the boring episode, no news. And yeah, I kind of saw that Bitcoin was just going to keep doing its thing today. And yeah, but maybe we'll start seeing some momentum up. Hopefully that'll be a nice, if we can even get back into the 90s by Thanksgiving tomorrow, I will definitely be happy about that. But yeah, markets are looking pretty good. We've got some green and some red here. And yeah, I'm still holding on to that Monad token who popped into the top 100 coins. I don't see him right here because it's always going from either negative 8% to we're up 40%. So I don't see the little bubble here for Monad. I'm debating, do I sell it now? Just take that $100 profit. But other than that, markets are looking pretty green. So it's not all red, and I'm enjoying that. But what else is happening in the news today? We have just in $4 trillion JP Morgan filed to launch a leveraged Bitcoin product linked to the performance of BlackRock's BTC ETF. JP Morgan is embracing Bitcoin. Yeah, so should we be happy about this? Didn't just like we have a bunch of negative news from JP Morgan wanting to kick people out of the MICA who held like over 50% of Bitcoin on their sheets, like really just like an attack towards strategy. And then they debanked Jack Mallers from Strike. So again, it's like this news like just comes out way too fast. So it's like what happened to the boycott JP Morgan? Like if you just like we literally just covered this 2 days ago. So I am not sure how this news is going to perceive. Like in the chats, let's see, Jamie Dimon, 27 Bitcoin is a fraud. Jamie Dimon today. Can we get a 2x leverage version? The lines between Wall Street and chain asset keeps fading. Partnerships like this set the tone for mainstream crypto adoption. So again, like it seems like the community is like, or at least right now for these posts, is like they're embracing it. They like the news, but again, it's like let's not forget what literally took place the other day. It literally just happened. So JP Morgan, I don't know about you. I think it would be pretty cool if like you actually went down and that was like some type of catalyst, or would that be a villain, like a breaking down? Like Ivan on Tech had a nice little tweet, like who is this season's villain? Like if we end the crypto cycle, 2014 Mt. Gox, that caused the price dip. When you look at these Bitcoin prices from all time down, like 2014, let's see, this is 2017. Let's see, where would 2014 be? This is the Bitcoin. This does not look like it would be correct. So in 2014 was Mt. Gox. And then in 2018 was, let's see, BitConnect, FTX, and Celsius 2022. So who is going to be 2026? So is this the end of the cycle? Are we going to start going down? Well, we do need a villain for that to happen. So who do you think it's going to be? Let me know in the comments or comment on Ivan on text. It's always a good show to watch if you're not following Ivan. But let's see, what else is happening? This is just quick Twitter news before I actually hit the news articles out there. Let's see, it looks like PayPal launches a Bitcoin raffle. So US PayPal users can now enter a Bitcoin raffle, offering prizes up to $100,000 with weekly draws running through December. So yeah, why not go for it? Take a chance, put the little raffle and try to win some free Bitcoin. Like this is really like the only way you could get free Bitcoin. Never fall for the send me one Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 back. That is a total scam out there. But entering raffles when companies and stuff like do this, take advantage of it. But yeah, you can win big. You can do at least I think 10 times do as many times as 10 times per week between November 17th, December 21st. There'll be one winner with 100,000 Bitcoin, 5 winners in 10,000 Bitcoin, and 162 winners of $500 in Bitcoin. So still not bad. Why not give it a try? So if you want to take that raffle, go for it. I just thought I'd share that with you because why not? Take it. All you gotta do is just sign up for it. So it's not that hard. And let's see, what else? Okay, now we're getting into the worldly adoption, like how my title of my show was, like the worldwide adoption wave. What's going on? So just in Bolivian government to integrate crypto into the formal financial system. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't find an article revolving around this, but when one comes out, we'll go deep dive into it. But also, just in Texas becomes the first state to purchase $10 million of BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF, according to the Texas Blockchain Council. So, yeah, they have the ability to reallocate $10 million, but I think as of right now, they've only purchased $5 million, and that's going to be our first article starting off the day. So, yeah, Texas buys the Bitcoin dip, acquiring $5 million of BlackRock's IBIT. Texas has also allocated an additional $5 million for direct self-custody Bitcoin, signaling growing state-level adoption in the U.S. Now, the Texas state government has made a major Bitcoin move, snapping up $5 million worth of shares in BlackRock's spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, with another $5 million lined up for a self-custody Bitcoin buy. Now, the government made the purchase on November 20th with a move highlighted via X on Tuesday by Lee Bratcher, president of the Texas Blockchain Council. Bratcher said that the Texas government will eventually self-custody Bitcoin, but as it's still finalizing the process, the initial $5 million allocation was made with BlackRock's IBIT ETF. Now, $10 million is allocated from the general revenue, but not all $10 million has been allocated, he added. So Texas bought the dip. Here is Lee Bratcher's tweet. Texas became the first state to purchase Bitcoin with a $10 million investment on November 20th at an approximately 87,000 basis. So congratulations to the comptroller and the dedicated investment teams at Texas Treasury who have been watching this market. Now, Pierre Rochard, CEO of the Bitcoin Bond Company, said that Texas's move signaled a significant shift in attitude toward Bitcoin in just a short amount of time. In 5 years, we went from governments will ban Bitcoin to governments are only buying a small amount of Bitcoin. Hyper-Bitcoinization has happened and is happening and will continue to happen. So, yeah. So, guys, if you're worried about a dip, like, don't even fear for it. Like, just see it as like this is your sell price before you get to lower prices, because like hyper-Bitcoinization is happening and it is going to go up. So again, like we do have dips in between, but just always view them as this nice little sell prices to lower your dollar cost average, because Bitcoin is just going to keep going. How long is that going to take? Years? A couple of years? Who knows? But again, as far as we know from selling Bitcoin, like Bitcoin will always go up in the long run. But let's continue on with the article. So in June, Governor Greg Abbott officially authorized the creation of a state-managed fund to hold Bitcoin as part of the state's long-term financial asset, utilizing public funds to build the treasury. Now, as outlined in the initial bill greenlit by Abbott, only assets with a market cap of over $500 billion are eligible for the inclusion in the reserve, a threshold met by Bitcoin, but not by BlackRock's IBIT. However, the move still signals a step forward in Texas' Bitcoin adoption plan. So yeah, they had the rule out there for what they could invest in, and they put a limit at the market cap size. So when you look at Bitcoin, it's the only one that's above $500 billion for the market cap. So they're the only ones that qualify for them to make the investment. They can't put it in Ethereum. They can't put it in XRP. They can only do that if they surpass 500 billion. But in mid-October, State Senator Charles Schwertner, one of the lawmakers behind the State Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill, told Cointelegraph that Ethereum may be next if its market cap can get and stay above 500 billion. But if Ethereum maintains. Why am I saying mainnets? I was like, wait a minute, I'm reading this wrong. So if Ethereum maintains its market cap over 24 months, I think it's reasonable and prudent to give direction that Ethereum could be added to the cryptocurrency reserve, he said. And other people who bought Bitcoin, let's see, Wisconsin bought $100 million of BlackRock's BTC ETF in 2024. So while some have claimed Texas is the first state to snap up Bitcoin through IBIT, the state of Wisconsin's investment board actually oversaw the purchase of almost $100 million worth of IBIT shares in May of last year, that the filing showed. Meanwhile, Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balashunas also highlighted via X on Tuesday that Texas joins Harvard and Abu Dhabi in recently purchasing IBIT. So pretty sure that's the only ETF to ever be owned by all three. More wild stuff for a not yet even 2 years old fund. Now, IBIT is down around 10% year to date, despite the growing embrace of Bitcoin by the US government under the Trump administration this year. And at the time of writing, IBIT is sitting at $49.56 and is up a mere 0.22% in the after hours of trading. But yeah, so they purchased some ETF stakes, but yeah, so they're not the first ones to do that in the state, but they will be the first ones to do the buying the actual Bitcoin. Because again, they did $10 million. $5 million was allocated to the Bitcoin ETF by BlackRock, but they did say that the other $5 million will be allocated to actually buying Bitcoin and will go into their self-custody wallet. Because that was said right here. So they have another $5 million lined up for a self-custody Bitcoin buy. So they will be probably the first state to actually buy Bitcoin, not putting the confiscated Bitcoin into the reserve. This is actually them buying it. So guys, buckle up. It's going to get very exciting. Like, I think this could be our time for the how did I even say this? It's like it's our bounce back up, replenish. No, it's not the replenish. It's our revival bump. Yeah, the revival bump. I think that's what it was called. So yeah, because we should be seeing, because I didn't think that we were done yet for the market. So we might have that revival bump happening and it could be starting. They did say big things are coming. So yeah, let's just keep eyeing that. But let's continue on. So that's Texas. That's happening in the US. So what else is going on around the world? So it looks like the Bank of Russia amends rules to allow crypto investments through mutual funds. So they're making it easier for people to buy Bitcoin and crypto in Russia. So again, this is happening on the other side of the world right now. And let's hear about this. So Russia's central bank is lifting restrictions on crypto investments via mutual funds by amending regulations governing their activities. Now, the Monetary Authority emphasized the move as part of a series of initiatives aimed at giving a qualified investor wider access to crypto assets and derivatives. Now, Russia opens up another door for cryptocurrency investment. The Central Bank of Russia is removing regulatory obstacles to investing in financial instruments tied to the value of cryptocurrencies. Now, according to new rules drafted by the bank, such investments will soon be possible through mutual funds, although their shares in the fund's portfolios will be capped at 10%. Now, the document published by the authority on Tuesday also expands the list of non-exchange traded securities in which retail mutual funds will be allowed to invest. In a press release, the authority emphasized that the measures had been discussed with market players and urged for comments and suggestions by December 9th. Now, the proposal for which the CBR seeks feedback updates to the current regulation on composition and structure of assets and of the joint stock investment funds, as well as assets of mutual investment funds, the Bank of Russia is significantly changing the opportunities for participants in the collective investment market. And that was from the Commerçant Business Daily, which they noted in an article. Now, the most significant amendment in Visage expands on the range of assets to include derivative instruments tracking the price of digital currencies. The newspaper also added, highlighting that the legalization of cryptocurrencies as a financial instrument, albeit in the form of derivatives, has undergone a difficult transition this year from a ban on such products and then allowing trading only for high qualified investors to a relaxation of these requirements and now to permitting their use in mutual funds. Now, Moscow is en route to thoroughly regulate crypto investments. The Bank of Russia, which used to be the strongest opponent to legalize crypto among regulators in Moscow, has been gradually softening its stance in the past months. Now, it proposed establishing an experimental legal regime for cryptocurrency transactions and investments in March, and then authorized the offering of digital asset derivatives in May. Now, this gave a narrow category of highly qualified investors access to crypto, and Russian authorities are now discussing admitting other investors to market as well. And that was reported by Cryptopolitan. Now, statements by the CBR officials in October and November revealed that the regulatory plans to allow commercial banks to work with cryptocurrencies and mutual funds to invest in their derivatives. The authority also made it clear it expects lawmakers to adopt new legislation comprehensively regulating crypto investments in 2026. Now, the existing ELR may soon become redundant following the adoption of the new regulations, as recently indicated by the central bank's governor, Elvira Nabiullina. Now, furthermore, the derivatives currently traded in Russia are based on foreign funds and indices, but the CBR now wants to let financial firms offer products directly linked to cryptocurrencies. Now, trends get positive response from the financial sector. Market participants are reacting positively to the long-awaited warming of the central bank's attitude toward digital currencies. Commercent remarked, now the crypto-based instruments that will be offered via mutual funds may be of interest to Russian investors who seek exposure to global assets but not want to bear infrastructure risks, noted Artem Mayorov, director of asset management at Ingostrak Investments. Now, while Russian investors can already access crypto assets offered in partnering countries, lifting the restrictions for domestic funds will bring liquidity back to Russian market, according to Dmitry Cheleshev, managing director of investment companies Recalm Trust. However, the analysis do not expect a great demand for these instruments at the point given that the significant crypto market declined over the past few weeks. I don't know. Are they not thinking this is a good point because the last couple of weeks was down markets? Like I was saying, we're probably in for a bullish. This is bullish news just to add fuel to that slow burning ember that was going out to keep it going. So I think it's a good time to do it. But this asset class carries increased risk in its entirety, reasonably to set a 10% limit here, pointed out by Alexander Lavrov, investment director at the Vostok Zapad asset management firm. Now, derivatives based on Bitcoin and Ethereum appear to be the most promising, the Russian daily commented, reminding that futures on foreign exchange traded funds tracking the two leading cryptocurrencies by market cap are already traded on Russian exchanges. So that's what Russia's kind of doing over there, making some changes, rules. At first it was bad, banning only certain people. Now it's just opening up a little bit more now. So so adoption is happening around the world, and with these little changes going on, it's just one step closer to, again, hyper Bitcoinization. This is involving all cryptos, but hyper Bitcoinization is a part of it because Bitcoin will be used within this. So pretty cool, Russia. Hope to hear more about it. Now let's hear about some negative news coming from Spain. It's what are you doing? This is this bad innovation happening. It's stifling innovation because you're just going to push people away from the country. But Spain's junior ruling party proposes 47% crypto tax in an attack against Bitcoin. So Spain's Sumar party reportedly wants to raise crypto taxes to 47% and classify all digital assets as seizable and introduce a risk traffic light system. So I'm not sure if they can push this through, but if they did, it would definitely not bring business to their country. But Spain's Sumar's parliamentary group has introduced amendments to reform three major tax laws affecting cryptocurrencies, including the general tax law, the income tax law, and the inheritance and gift tax law, according to the local media. Now, the proposal would change how crypto profits are taxed, shifting gains from non-financial instrument assets into the general income tax bracket, which would raise the top rate to 47% instead of the current 30% savings rate. Now, while setting a flat 30% tax for corporate holders, according to a Tuesday report from Cryptonauticas. Now, Sumar is a left-wing political alliance that holds 26 of the 350 seats in Spain's Congress of Deputies. As of early 2024, it is also a junior party in the governing coalition with the Socialist Party. Now, the plan by the left-wing political platform would also require the National Securities Market Commission to create a visual risk traffic light. Now, the systems for cryptocurrencies to be displayed on investor platforms. Now, another controversial element is a proposal to classify all cryptocurrencies as attachable assets eligible for seizure. Now, lawyer Chris Carrascosa. Yeah, when I get to these articles that happen in other countries, I might not always say the name correct. But he said on X that this is an unforeseeable, especially for tokens like Tether, which can be held by regulated custodians under MiCA rules. Now, here's the tweet from him. Let's break this down. This is going to probably be part of his tweet. Actually, it's the whole thing. But now let's break down why half of these don't make the slightest sense. Regarding point 1, seizing cryptos is not MiCA. The Sumar group doesn't understand a thing. The article on the seizability of assets was already reformed back in the day by people with far more expertise. Now, a subscription, J, was established that already included cryptos covered by MiCA. Now Sumar wants to add the caveat and those not covered by MiCA. Well, gentlemen, cryptos not regulated by MiCA cannot be custodied by a centralized provider with authorization. Therefore, they can never be seized. So, for example, Tether is not covered by MICA, and therefore it's not an asset that a CASP can custody legally. That's why it placed almost last in the list of seizability when the article was modified. Now, this modification makes no sense. It's an unforeseeable, it's an unenforceable, and it adds no value. On the contrary, it complicates the life of the CASPS, who are the ones who ultimately have to execute the seizure orders. So he was just explaining like how that part at least didn't make sense. But critics call it an attack on Bitcoin, though. So in a post on X, economics and tax advisors Jose Antonio Bravo Matteo denounced the amendments as useless attacks against Bitcoin, arguing that the measures misunderstand how decentralized assets work. He noted that Bitcoin held in self-custody cannot be seized or monitored in the same way as traditional financial assets. The only thing these measures achieve is to make its holders residing in Spain think about fleeing when Bitcoin rises so high that they no longer care about what politicians say, he warned. Now, meanwhile, tax inspectors Juan Foss and Jose Maria Gentil have recently suggested creating a special, more favorable tax regime specifically for Bitcoin. Their proposal allows taxpayers to separate wallets and apply either a FIFO, the first in, first out, or weighted average methods with value adjustments when moving assets between wallets to prevent tax gain. Now, Spain's tax agency has been warning crypto holders about taxes for years, sending 328,000 warning notices for taxes on crypto for the 2022 fiscal year in 2023, followed by 620,000 similar notices a year later. So that just showed an increase of people using taxes over there. They're not using crypto when I say taxes, because the year before they sent out 328,000, and then the following year 620, just shows the adoption of how much people were actually utilizing crypto. But that's Spain. But outside of Spain, we have in taxes, we have Japan plans a 20% flat tax. So while Spain considers increasing taxes on crypto gains, Japan Financial Services Agency is pushing for a tax reform that would dramatically reduce the burden on crypto investors. Now, instead of taxing crypto earnings as miscellaneous income at rates that can reach 55%, Japan has applied just a flat 20% capital gains tax, bringing digital assets in line with equities and making the country more competitive for traders and businesses. Because I think 20% is average for a lot of countries. When they go above that, it's like usually they're not going through, or no one's doing crypto, or they're going to other countries, or using literally just the DeFi space to avoid the taxes. So it's not good for Spain. Japan's doing pretty well with tax. I think 20% is reasonable, decent if you're playing on the centralized aspect. But yeah, Spain the junior party did not understand crypto and DeFi at all, saying, "No, we need the ability to seize crypto." It's like, yeah, how are you going to do that in a decentralized wallet? So if someone has their own wallet, even if it's just on their phone, and they have their private keys and seed phrase, that's it. You can't track someone's wallet because all they have is a seed phrase. That's it. When you set up a crypto wallet, you never give a name, email, phone number, your driver's license, and nothing. You just download the wallet, back it up with the code, the seed phrase, done. So yeah, these guys just do not understand crypto really. So they need to be educated. Maybe go down to El Salvador, because they're now teaching everyone 7 years and older about Bitcoin. So I think every country should adopt that. But yeah, so that's what's going on over there. And whoa, what just happened to my screen? There we go. Oh, camera went unfocused. But yeah, so that's what was taking place in Spain. Now, before we take a quick break, let's go cover our last country that's making some moves. And this one is Vietnam. So Binance partners with HCM City to build Vietnam's global financial future. So, interesting. So HCM City is now moving closer to its big dream of becoming an international financial hub. The city has teamed up with Binance, one of the world's largest crypto exchanges, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Binance on November 26. Now, the partnership is expected to bring more investment, technology, and growth into Vietnam's financial and crypto space. Now, HCM City vision for its global financial center, Ho Chi Minh City, is one of the two main locations chosen for Vietnam's International Financial Center. However, the MOU signing ceremony took place at the Autumn Economic Forum back in 2025 and attended by Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, the HCMC municipal's leaders, and they representatives from various ministries and international investment funds. Now, this partnership follows HCMC's earlier MOU with NASDAQ in October of 2025, another major step in linking Vietnam to international financial markets. And here's Meta Eric just pointed it out on Twitter. Now, key goals of this partnership: under this agreement, Binance will help attract international investors, financial companies, and investment funds to new financial center. Now, this could bring more capital and business opportunities to Vietnam, and Binance will also share its experience in. So, introduce foreign investment or investors and financial institutions to Vietnam. It's going to build new rules for digital assets and blockchain use, develop payment systems using cryptocurrencies, and support digital finance projects with strong compliance and safety. So this cooperation will help Vietnam establish clear and secure regulations for the fast-growing crypto and blockchain market. Now, a joint working group for blockchain innovation. A joint working group will be created to plan and monitor progress. They will meet twice a year to keep the project on track. And both sides also agreed to develop a sandbox, a safe testing environment for blockchain and crypto projects. This will allow innovation while protecting users and ensuring legal oversight. There will also be support for startups and local businesses. The initiative will also support Vietnamese startups and small businesses working in blockchain, artificial intelligence, and fintech solutions. And training programs, workshops, and expert guidance will help local regulators and companies strengthen their knowledge and skills. Overall, the cooperation with Binance highlights HCM City's strong ambition to become a major financial center in Asia by 2030. So there you have it, guys. So yeah, the worldwide adoption wave, it's here from Vietnam to Spain to, well, not really Spain. They're hurting themselves. from Vietnam, Spain, Japan. We have even Russia and just states here in the U.S. Like just buying the dip. It's like the worldwide adoption for crypto. It's happening. So if you think like Bitcoin's dipping and it's going to go down to zero, you are well misinformed. That's never going to happen. It's never going to hit zero. Will it dip? Yes, we'll have Bitcoin still volatile, and that's great for the market. So yeah, there'll be some highs, there'll be some lows, but in the long run, it's going to keep going up. So yeah, so worldwide adoption is happening. Don't sit on Bitcoin. If you're new to Bitcoin and crypto, join the crypto club if you need help. That's what we're here for. We got consultants, myself, Amanda, Steve, and getting more people coming on to help you out with whatever cryptos you need. So yeah, check us out. Go to bitcoinben.io and maybe check out our programs. Let's play a quick commercial ad to hear a little bit more about those programs, and then we'll be back after these messages.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
That is right. Empire starts now. So if you need more information, go to bitcoinben.io or give us a call or text at 941-413-8080. I'll be glad to answer any questions you got. So, all right, what's going on in the crypto space? But also before that, I was checking out like Twitter, seeing if there's any new quick pop-up news during the show. And what did I see? The video showing the 405 freeway in downtown Los Angeles as Thanksgiving travels rush go underway. Ooh, this is why I never fly into LAX. No, never. I will never do that. Just because the traffic is terrible, especially for the holiday season. Hence, I also won't even leave out of Tampa just because I don't like that hour leeway. So I'm going to be leaving here out of SRQ, 20 minutes away. with a layover in Dallas, but then I'll be in John Wayne Airport, downtown Santa Ana, just 10-15 minutes away from my house. So I don't mind layovers when I travel for the holidays or at all. I just want to be close when I get off the plane. I don't want to be sitting in the car for another hour for a trip. So I don't care if it's a direct flight, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty busy down in California. So yeah, if I'm down there, maybe I'll check out some meetups and yeah, maybe I'll see you down there. But let's continue on with the news. Let's go into our stable coins. Like what's going on around there? So it looks like Tether's 100. I just swallowed some saliva in the wrong way. Sorry. But Tether's 116-ton gold hoard rivals reserves of Korea and Hungary, says Jeffrey. So Tether accounted for almost 2% of the global gold demand last quarter, with Jeffries noting that its aggressive buying may be influenced by short-term market sentiment. So gold has been pumping, and we did cover the article that Tether was just past the 100 tons or the 100 billion mark for gold holding, but I didn't know it actually matched with Korea and Hungary, which is, it's good having mixed assets on your board to keep that 1-to-1 dollar aspect ratio for their stable coin. Because yeah, instead of just having all just cash reserves, nah, that's terrible. They have a mixed supply. They got Bitcoin, they got bonds, they got gold, so they have a mixed supply of assets to back the 1-to-1 ratio. But yeah, and also this definitely solidifies their number one position as a stable coin, because they are holding number 3 with a market cap of $184 billion, with the next best stablecoin USDC at 75. So yeah, this is definitely news keeping them in first place. But let's hear a little bit more about it. So stablecoin issuer holds 116 tons of physical gold, placing it on par with central banks such as those in South Korea, Hungary, and Greece. Tether is the largest holder of gold outside central banks, Jeffries wrote in a recent analysis per a report by the Financial Times. Now, this investment bank added that Tether's growing appetite for gold may be playing a larger role in the metal's recent surge than previously assumed. According to Jeffries, Tether's gold purchases last quarter accounted for nearly 2% of the total global demand and almost 12% of the central bank purchases. Now, the company said that Tether's aggressive accumulation over the past 2 months is likely to have tightened supply in the short term and influence sentiment, potentially driving speculative inflows into gold markets. Now, investors cited by Jeffries said that Tether aims to acquire another 100 tons of gold in 2025, with the company reportedly on track for the $15 billion in profit this year. Now, the target appears well within reach, according to the report. Now, Tether doubles down on its gold strategy. So Tether has also spent more than $300 million this year buying stakes in precious metals. And in June, it acquired a 32% stake in Canada's public gold royalty firm Elemental Altus Royalties. In September, the FT reported that Tether is exploring investments across the gold supply chain, including mining, refining, trading, and royalty companies, as part of a broader push to diversify its reserve. Now, Tether also issues the Tether Gold, the XAUT token. Its gold-backed token launched in 2020, and it advertises being supported by bullion stored in a Swiss vault. Now, blockchain data shows that the XAUT token issuance has doubled over the past 6 months, with Tether adding 275,000 ounces, or about $1.1 billion since August. Now, Jeffries said that Tether is betting that tokenized gold will finally find traction. Physical gold is cumbersome for retail investors, futures carry roll costs, and gold ETFs charge relatively high fees. So Tether argues that tokenization solves these frictions. So Tether is increasingly resembles a central bank now. So as Cointelegraph reported, Tether's day-to-day operations mirror several core functions of traditionally associated with central banks. It mints and redeems USDT directly for verified customers, effectively expanding or contracting supply through its primary market pipeline. It also manages a large reserve portfolio dominated by short-duration U.S. treasuries, along with gold and Bitcoin. The company generates central bank-like income by earning interest on those treasuries while also issuing a non-interest-bearing token. Beyond that, Tether employs policy-style tools such as freezing addresses at the request of law enforcement and phasing out blockchains to reduce risk. So they are really acting like a bank now. It kind of makes it in par with, I think, the Genius Act, or is it the Clarity Act? I forgot which one it was. But requiring stablecoin businesses and operators that hold certain licenses, follow certain rules. So if they're if they're pretty much acting like a bank, I think they have no problem working with the Genius Act out there. So But yeah, so Tether is killing it as one of those top stable coins out there. Would that be a black swan event where they go under? But I don't know how they could. They have such good reserves going on. So yeah, pretty cool Tether news for the stablecoin market. So if you're ever hesitant on which stablecoin do I want to hold on to, there's Tether, there's Circle, there's XRP stablecoin, and so many other banks are also testing new coins, which is our next article. But Tether, this is, if you had to choose, I would say Tether. Go with Tether, even though Coinbase mainly uses Circle. So if you're a Coinbase user, you're going to need to use Circle. But hey, if you want to hold it for the longer term, I would put my bet on Tether. But again, don't think of Tether or these stable coins as investments. I've seen so many people come here at the club going, I want to invest in the stable coins. Do you understand what a stable coin is? Because I think they don't realize that it stays to 1 to the dollar. There's no investment. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. So unless they want the staking aspect of it, because usually when you hold a stable coin on an exchange or platform, you can earn 4, 5, 10%. I don't know how much you can actually earn, but maybe that's why they want it. But yeah, I don't know. So again, don't think of stable coins as an investment, guys. I gotta say that because I'm pretty sure some people out there may think I want to invest in it, but yeah, just don't do that, guys. It's a stable coin. It's pegged to 1 to the dollar. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. So just making that clear out there. But yeah, so let's continue on with the stablecoin news, though, because there's still more going on, like Tether acting as a bank, but then we got banks also testing stablecoins on this new network. So this is going to be bullish news for Stellar Network, because yes, U.S. banks joined the growing list of traditional banking institutions working on stablecoins and testing its own on the Stellar blockchain. So the publicly traded bank, U.S. Bank, is testing a stablecoin on the Stellar blockchain, the firm announced on Tuesday. The Minneapolis-based bank is collaborating with consulting firm PwC and the Stellar Development Foundation on the project. It's another way to move money on a blockchain, and we look at a blockchain as an alternative payment rail, said Mike Villano, Senior VP and Head of Digital Asset Products as U.S. Bank, on the future of finance products. Now, we're very interested to see what use cases are going on to manifest from that and what customers are going to be most interested in. So the firm joins a growing list of banks nationwide that are considering diving into the stablecoin waters as institutional appetite grows following the signing of the Genius Act, which regulates the issuance and trading of the tokens. Last month, Citi, Goldman Sachs, Barclays, and Bank of America, among others, were included in a list of banks that are considering a joint stablecoin venture. Prior to that, both Citi and Bank of America had individually showcased their interest in stablecoins earlier this year. Now, the primary objective was to demonstrate the promise of blockchain in a trusted bank-grade environment, Kurt Fields, a blockchain leader at PwC, said at U.S. Bank's engagement. Now, the firm's work alongside Stellar is in part because of the Layer 1 network underlying architecture, which allows for freezing or undoing transactions at a blockchain level. Now, one of the great things about the Stellar platform, as we did some more research and development on it, was learning that they have the ability at their base operating layer to freeze assets and unwind transactions, said Villano. Often you might write that into the business logic in itself, but in this instance, you can do it at core blockchain layers. Now, Stellar Payments and Remittances focused blockchain has been live since 2014. It currently ranks 19th by stablecoin market cap, with around $212 million worth of stables currently living on the network. Now, $200 million or 94% is issued as Circle's USD dollar-backed stablecoin, and the network has seen stablecoin outflow of more than 20% in the last 7 days, according to data from DeFi Llama. Now, its partnership with Stellar isn't U.S. Bank's only connection to stablecoins. In October, the firm announced it would custody the reserve for crypto bank Anchorage digital stablecoin. So shares of U.S. Bancorp are up 2.8% on Tuesday, recently changing hands at 49 cents per share, or $49 per share. If it was at 49 cents, I'm sure people will be buying it right now, going, oh, we're down, let's get it. But no, $49, so sorry for that clerical error. But yeah, so banks are still testing Bitcoin, or are testing stable coins, getting the idea in that market. It's getting a little bit more easier because of the Genius Act. We took away Operation Choke 0.0. I thought I saw something here on Twitter that Trump is taking away. Oh yeah, here it was. So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says Trump administration is removing all regulatory barriers against Bitcoin and crypto. So again, yeah, so like with these banks getting on in, we got rules falling on it. It's like, because back then we never had this. There was barriers. We couldn't do it. We stopped innovation. So we were kind of at a standstill. But now with these barriers gone, there's been so much innovation, adoption going on. That's why we're seeing all these countries, US institutions, even states like acquiring Bitcoin and just blockchain technology, because it's not just Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. It's the technology itself of blockchain, which is the new payment rail that will definitely change the way we transact with financing. Because again, it's transparent. You can see the chain itself, and like the banks now are trying to get on the side of us. Okay, we gotta make this more centralized. Can we have the ability to freeze on rewind a transaction? So that's why that one bank, I forgot which one it was in that article, was saying they're using Stellar because they have that capability within it. But yeah, so there's just so much great bullish news going on around. And let's see, let's continue on. What else do we have for you? There's just so much good news going on in this space, and I love it today. Yesterday was a boring day. There was like nothing to report on. Today it's like boom. So yeah, the markets were silent but moving. But let's see. Looks like we got one more article for you. So right now, the last article looks like there's going to be a big Coinbase reveal coming on December 17th, and its 2026 DeFi plus AI strategy is already taking shape. So I guess for us Coinbase users out there, we may want to see what's changing out there. Again, I only use Coinbase if I need to buy or sell crypto. I never keep my coins on the exchange. Just always do that. Self-custody is always the way to go. Use these guys. Any exchange you use think of it as an airline. You use it to get to where you need to go, but you're never staying or living on the airport. So you're using these platforms just to buy crypto, and then you move it to your self-custody. That's how you want to play it to be smart in this space. Let's hear about this. What's going to be coming up? What do we need to look out for? So here we go. Coinbase is lining up a 2026 investment push into real-world assets, next-generation DeFi, and AI-driven Web3 projects, while also teasing a major system update for December 17th. Now, at the same time, fresh charts from its spot Bitcoin market show rising sell-side pressure on Coinbase, adding a short-term market angle to the company news. Now, Coinbase Ventures sets 2026 investment priorities. Coinbase Ventures said it will direct its 2026 investments toward real-world asset trading and at next-generation decentralized finance and new AI-driven Web3 applications. The firm made the announcement in a blog post published on November 25th, and it said it will back projects building tokenized asset products, so real-world assets, trading infrastructure, and advanced DeFi systems and AI-connected blockchain platforms. Now, Coinbase Ventures said it will also prioritize specialized exchanges and trading terminals. It said that these areas will support market demand and digital assets expand into traditional financial and machine-driven applications. Now, Coinbase announced a major update for December 17th. So, moreover, Coinbase on X will unveil the next evolution of Coinbase on December 17th, and they revealed this on X. Let's see it. Can we play it? So, save the date, December 17th. There's no music to this, so kind of boring. System update. So, okay, I thought that would be a little bit more exciting. Cool graphics, Coinbase, but yeah, so add it to your calendar, they said. But observers note that these teasers follows a recent change to Coinbase's profile bio. The only text added was December 17th. And analysts say that this buildup fuels speculation. Some expect new products, others mention possible expansion of services or platform upgrades. So again, it's kind of like it's trying to just fuel speculation is what Coinbase is doing. But Coinbase's teaser signals selling pressure on Bitcoin spot markets. So meanwhile, Bitcoin order books on Coinbase showed notable sell-side pressure late November 24th, according to market data shared by Crypto Analysis on X. The chart flagged clusters of red volume bars forming a dense horizontal band, signaling sellers placing large orders in Coinbase's spot market. Now, the 5-minute Coinbase BTC to USDC chart displayed a quick run toward $87,900, followed by a repeated rejection. Each rejection printed red candles, volume bars increased on the sell side during these pullbacks, and a highlighted yellow box at the lower section of the chart marked the period of the strongest selling volume, showing sustained deposits of sell orders. Now, at the same time, the chart's CVD, the cumulative volume delta line, sloped downward, showing sell orders outweighed buy orders. And through that window, the decline in delta confirmed sellers were executing into bids instead of passively listing offers. Now, the analyst also shared the update with a shortened company teaser tied to Coinbase's December 17th platform reveal. The mention ran alongside price pressure on Bitcoin's short-term structure, linking the selling activity to immediate market conditions, not to a long-duration trend. So guys, let's get ready for Coinbase's upgrade. Let's see what they do, what changes they make, but it looks like we're getting that update on December 17th. So yeah, they're trying to get some speculation out there. Woo! Sorry, I can't get so excited about exchanges. It's like I was more excited about all the other adoption news around the world. It's like, this is like a cool centralized exchange getting an upgrade, just kind of act more like DeFi, but it's like just use DeFi. Why go the centralized route? Their platform requires you to use a KYC, know your license. They track everything. So again, when they try to add DeFi, it's like, how are you really adding DeFi? Unless they do it to their base account, which is their self-custody crypto wallet. So we'll just have to wait and see and find out. But that is it for all the news I have for you today. Let's take a look at our fear and greed index. Are we out of extreme fear yet? No, we are still at a 15 extreme fear. So hey, when we are fearful, it's the best time to buy, guys. Bitcoin is currently at 89,000. Whoa, did we just have a nice little pump up going on? Woo, let's go to 90,000. Let's go Bitcoin. So yeah, that's a nice little market move up. What just happened? Was it because of Thanksgiving, or is it because of the news I just covered? Just the worldly adoption going on again? Was it because of Texas buying $5 million of the Bitcoin, $5 million of a Bitcoin ETF? Who knows? But I love seeing when markets are green and Bitcoin keeps rising. But everyone, I hope everyone has an awesome Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm not sure if I will do a show. It's a maybe. So we'll see, because I got 2 Thanksgivings to go to. Grandma's up in San Pedro, so dad's side of the family, and then mom's house, or basically home, so for the mom's side of the family. So 2 Thanksgivings, but I hope everyone has an awesome day tomorrow. Stay safe out there, and I will be back with more crypto news probably Friday or tomorrow, so we'll find out. So see you guys. Have a great one. Bye.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.